Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're going to dive into something really interesting, the whole architecture of self worth. We're going to explore the psychology behind those people who just seem to operate on a different frequency, the ones powered by something called internal validation.
All right, so to really get into this, let's start with a world that, well, we all know it intimately. I'm talking about a world where life often feels less like something you live and more like something you have to announce.
I mean, just think about it for a second. You land a new job, and what's the first impulse for so many of us? Update LinkedIn, right? It's like that achievement doesn't feel 100% real until it's been broadcast out there and you get that flood of likes and comments. And it's totally the same in our personal lives, isn't it? A new relationship gets that big photo hard launch. Engagements, even just a nice dinner out, everything gets perfectly curated and posted. It's like we're turning these really private moments into public performances. It's almost like we have to constantly provide proof of life, building this perfect highlight reel for our audience. And look, this isn't me passing judgment at all. It's the cultural water we're all swimming in. It's a world built on sharing and, more importantly, getting that external feedback. So, this all leads to a really powerful question. What if you didn't have to? What if that need for the big announcement, for that external nod of approval, what if it just wasn't there? Can you imagine what that kind of freedom would feel like? Okay, so to really see this idea in action, let's dig into it's a fascinating little psychological puzzle. I'm talking about the person who has a quiet birthday. Oh, you totally know this person. We all do. Their birthday comes and it just goes. There's no big social media declaration, no giant party announcement, no hinting around for birthday wishes. For them, the day is deeply meaningful on its own without needing to be this monumental event for everybody else. And look, this isn't about them being a recluse or hating fun. Not at all. It's a clue. It points to a totally different internal operating system, right? A different way of measuring their own significance. So, what exactly is going on in their heads? Well, what this behavior really shows us is a fundamental difference in how people measure their own self-worth. It really boils down to two completely opposite systems. You've got the inner scoreboard and you've got the outer scoreboard. And this is a pattern that often gets set way early in life. Were you taught to listen to your own internal compass, or were you taught to constantly check the map of what everyone else thinks? So yeah, here are the two opposing mindsets side by side. On one side, you have the person driven by external validation. Their sense of value it's conditional. It goes up and down with public opinion, like the stock market. But on the other side, you've got the internally validated person. Their worth is self-determined. It's stable. It's solid. Because it just isn't dependent on all those crazy outside variables. And this really gets to the heart of it. It's the difference between asking, "How do I look?" versus knowing, "How do I feel?" See? One is a question facing outward, looking for approval. The other is a statement facing inward, checking in for confirmation. It's the difference between putting on a performance and just having an experience. And that brings us to you could call it the psychological engine that powers this whole way of being. It's a concept that is absolutely crucial if you want to understand internal validation. This right here, this is the bedrock, a stable self-concept. What does that mean? It means you know who you are, completely independent of your job title, your relationship status, or how many likes you got on your last post. Your sense of you isn't fragile. It doesn't just shatter into a million pieces if someone disapproves of you or, heaven forbid, ignores you. So why does this matter so much? Because the outcomes, the benefits, are just profound. You feel grounded. You feel secure. You get this freedom from that constant low-grade hum of anxiety about what other people think. Your self-worth becomes this reliable, heavy anchor in the stormy seas of social opinion, not some flimsy kite getting blown all over the place. Okay, so we've explored all of this, and it brings us to a final, really important thought. This isn't just some abstract psychological theory, right? It's a really fundamental question about how we choose to build our lives. Now, let's be super clear about this. The goal isn't silence. It's not about becoming a hermit who never shares good news ever again. Of course not. Sharing is human. The goal is security. It's about getting to a place where you share because you want to, not because you need that feedback to feel okay about your own life. The whole point is having a security that comes from the inside out.
And so, that's the question I really want to leave you with. Think about it. Is your sense of self something you own outright, a permanent fixture of who you are? Or is it something you're just renting from the opinions of other people, where the monthly payment is their constant approval and validation? Because honestly, the answer to that question, it pretty much defines everything.